day one of the IAAPA Expo 2022 is in the books. And Ryan, what were your thoughts on the first day, what we got to see here?
Well, IAAPA is always a magical time seeing everybody come together. We saw some really cool things today. We saw some train reveals. We saw some new technology. We saw some cool ride concepts. What were some of your favorite things, Don?
I like the train reveals, with the lead cars. I thought, that was really fun. And just the reaction from the reporters, but also, the roller coaster fans, the enthusiasts for the industry and that were here. All of them were very well received.
Yeah, I agree. We had Zambezi Zinger. We had the Wild Mouse that's going to Cedar Point with their cheese car. And then we had the launch coaster from Zamperla. That was big too. That was a really big surprise. It's got those lap bars that are kind of similar to mock ride lap bars.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that. It was a big awe moment because it's one thing to see a concept, it's another thing to see in person. Would you agree with that?
Yes, and then we also had the Hershey Park Wildcat Revenge, that coaster lead car reveal. I thought that was really cool how the front of that train looks.
It is. That would give me nightmares if I was a little kid. That is so good looking. A big scary bear with like its claws and stuff out. That's so neat. So great day here so far, and we've still got two more that we're going to be in attendance. So this is day one, and this is going to be the day one special. We'll put this up online and everything. Obviously you want to tweet at us at attractions_GRP and let us know if you have any questions for any industry people or anything you particularly want to see or any content or times to go live. That would obviously be good. But so what else did you see, Don? What else did you see that you liked?
What I really liked too was just looking at the abundance of flat rides, the go-kart racing, the different cars for that. There was a trackless train that they have. I've seen one of those down in Pigeon Forge, in action. But that's a really cool concept. Love it. Wish I could buy one myself and just drive it around the neighborhood. But just so much to see here, but also a lot to do.
I agree. And I think that was my first time seeing a Zamperla nebulizer, I think they call it, in person, and those rides look impressive. It looks like it's going to crash into itself. It goes through, and if I had time, I would put the B-roll, but just look it up on YouTube, honestly. I think that's really cool. Additionally speaking, we got to see a lot of industry friends that we hadn't met in person yet. Matthew Miller, we put up a video of his. It was great to meet him in person. We just got done speaking with Jeff Pike and Dan Peak of Skyline Attractions, Tyler Mullins of Skyline. We haven't made our way over to our friends at the Gravity Group yet. We'll probably do that tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to have Michael Graham on later this week as well, too, to talk about all that's new with the Gravity Group. Also, Arthur Levine, he's got the popular blog out there. He all about theme parks. He will be joining us on a future podcast. We're looking forward to that. But like you mentioned, just so many industry friends here, and it's always fun too. You mentioned Tyler Mullins with Skyline Attractions. Here's a kid that started out as a seasonal associate, at Kings Island. I remember him working the Adventure Express, but to see where he's come, now he's designing rides and things. That's a thrill down here too as well for me to see, someone that was 15, 16 years old with an interest in the industry. They start out working rides and here they are designing rides. Right,
yeah, he came in the same class as him, Paul Bonifield, who also is a full-timer in the industry doing graphic design for Cedar Fair, a good friend of ours. And then there was a third one, I can't remember who it was, but they're also, I think that they're in some sort of operations for Universal or something. Yeah, that's neither here nor there. Nonetheless, what a tight group of people. Awesome to see some people. We saw Gary Slade from Amusement Today.
Amusement Today, exactly. And John Robinson, Amusement Today. I mean, just so many people down here that, we talked about coming down here for weeks on the podcast.
Right.
And, for finally to be here, for me, it not only met the expectations that I had coming into it, it exceeded it. I mean, it was just a phenomenal first day.
Right. And I mean, if you have the opportunity to come down here for IAAPA, you just have to. It's so incredible. I think the thing that's really impressive is where the markets are. The thing that impressed me the first time I ever came down was that I thought that almost everything would be rides. I thought this was a ride convention. It's really not. I mean, it's probably 20 to 25% rides, and that's of a huge convention, so there's a lot of rides here. But there's a lot of like arcade games. We're right behind the camera. There's a plush outlet. That's where companies buy plush. There's carpeting for arcades. There's mini golf, all sorts of stuff. What was your favorite non-ride thing that you saw?
Across from the booth here, we have synthetic ice.
Right.
That you put in the different parks and things. Some of the warm weather climates that might want to have like a winter event.
Or indoor.
Yeah, exactly. And, it looked, and felt like real ice. They had a couple of skaters demonstrating, and, I spoke with them about just the differences. Obviously they're very, accomplished, figure skaters. But just to ask them what they felt the difference in that was. But I think that was a cool concept, for me to see that synthetic ice.
You ever skated on synthetic ice?
I did a long time ago. Was not a fan of it.
Okay.
Obviously, just looking at it today, the technology has changed dramatically
Right.
From what that was. So,
were you skating on like a plastic surface?
it was more of a plastic surface.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
You couldn't do all the moves that you would
Yeah.
want to make while skating, whether it's figure skating or even like playing hockey or whatever. But this one looks like you could do all the moves that you could make on the ice. I was impressed with that, just the technology and how it has advanced from 30 years ago when I skated on it to what it is today.
Yeah, I tried it in a shopping mall, and I remember feeling like the lateral grip wasn't as good as ice is. But again, technology's been pretty good, and this girl's out there doing not like triple Lutzes or anything, but she was doing spins and all sorts of stuff, and especially when people are coming by to actually look at the product, she was really able to bust out the move. So it just shows that it's a viable alternative.
Yeah, and then technology-wise, a lot of that down here, different things that are going on in that world. One of the things that caught my eye was Beyond Ticketing. We want to check that out this week while we're here as well.
We know what happens with ticketing. We don't know what happens beyond ticketing, though.
No, we don't. So
it's like the Beyond section of Bed Bath & Beyond.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's really cool. Also, Accesso's down here, too, kind of in that same frame. And, Accesso, it's almost like we were joking, like, oh, they'd be fun to have on the podcast. But the truth is, they probably would be pretty interesting because all the digital stuff runs through them first. They're the gatekeepers. They were the first to have the mobile apps. They were the first to have online ticketing, all that stuff.
Yeah, they were, so far ahead of the game. When they first came out, and you're right. I mean, they would be fun to have on the podcast, but just so many different things here. And you look at it, and we're down to 2 more days after today, so we have a lot to get in tomorrow, a lot to get in on Thursday. We look forward to bringing you a lot of different stories. Check out our Twitter. We posted several different photos and some videos and things on there. Our YouTube. Posted a couple of different things on there as well. So we'll really start to stockpile some things tonight, start to put some things together. Tomorrow we're looking to have, we mentioned 8 to 10 different short type interviews.
Right.
But also, while we're down here, it's not just about what's happening this week. We're laying the groundwork to have some really influential guests on the podcast, influential in terms of who and what they do in the industry.
Right. Yeah, and, people that actually do have stroke, people that you can go to with questions as to why things are done industry-wide, and they would have answers.
Exactly.
Because here's the thing, like, you can have the spokesperson for a park on, and you can say, why does parking cost $25 when it was 25 years ago? And they can give you their PR-ish answer, but there are people here, especially, that have no stroke in it, no skin in the game, as far as that's concerned, and they can tell you that there's market demands and stuff like that. So all of that can be very interesting. There's a lot of stuff about ride manufacturers announce the things that they're working on from a conceptual standpoint, and that's another thing that we could really sink our teeth into. We mentioned Skyline Attractions before. They're one of the ones that they always have their feelers out. If you don't subscribe to their newsletter, you probably should, because every 2 months or so they're dropping a new product that's really, really interesting. They got the Trailblazer. Is that what they called it?
Trailblazer, yeah.
So Trailblazer is the adult version of the Pescetti Bowl. So it has upstop wheels and stuff, so it's a little bit more extreme. I tweeted this out on our Twitter, but they have a really cool light package. They call it the Aurora package. We're going to talk to Jeff and his associates about that, how it works, and the limitations and possibilities of it. So that's really exciting. As Don mentioned, we're going to have Mike Graham. He's from the Gravity Group. They did some excellent work for some coasters as far as rehabbing them and coming up with a new precision cut design. So that's very exciting. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Infinity Flyers with Great Coasters International. We actually have an Infinity Flyer here from Zambezi Zinger. If you check YouTube, there is the reveal on YouTube now. So that train looks amazing.
It does.
You know,
it does. And about these reveals too, the one that I really liked, we'll just say it was kind of cheesy, would be the Cedar Point reveal for their Wild Mouse coaster coming. But the way that it's going to be with the trains, I was thinking it was just going to be, like Mouse and everything like that, but it's going to look like that they're chasing the cheese on this coaster. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And Ryan, there was, 25, 30,000 people here today. We got here early and we had to park way out on the grass to get here, but I'm going to tell you what, nobody was better dressed than we were.
I agree. We got a lot of comments about our Hawaiian shirts. Actually, if you can't see, I don't know if we're going to upload the video of this, to be honest with you, but we're wearing two Hawaiian shirts that are not the same. But so many people have been like, those shirts are so close, but they're not the same shirt. And it's been blowing people's minds. Mine has like lei flowers and Don's has surfboards. So it's different strokes for different folks as far as the Hawaiian shirts are concerned.
Yeah,
but it has turned heads.
We were more interested in comfort than style on this trip, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of our calling card is the Hawaiian shirt. So you guys will think we're from Hawaii when we're not, So a lot of exciting stuff coming down the pipeline. Like I said, this is day one. A lot of it was getting our bearings straight. Definitely check our YouTube channel to see what we've done so far and what we're going to be doing in the future. And Don, any final thoughts that you wanted to bring up? Anything neat?
You know what, Ryan? It's been a long first day here. Let's get on to Disney Springs and the Polite Pig for dinner.
The Polite Pig, and I would be rebuffed if I did not mention that we are within a few hours drive of a Buc-ee's.
Not even a few hours drive, 55 miles away.
Okay, so
and I'm going to be definitely hitting that on Saturday, and you can't miss it if you're it's right down the road. You got to do it, right? So like there's a lot of people that keep track of their their coaster counts and everything like that. I'm keeping track of my Buc-ee stops.
Your Buc-ee stops. Okay. So how many have you only been to the one in Richmond, or have you been to other ones?
Only the one in Richmond so far, and I'm waiting for the one in Tennessee to open down in like Sevierville, in that area. So I'm looking forward to that opening. It's not out of the realm of possibility while I'm in Tennessee over Thanksgiving that it's just a couple more hours away to drive over the border to get into Georgia where there's one. So I might have to add that one to my list. Thanksgiving.
Your wife is a saint, sir, if she's going to put up with this.
She's a Buc-ee fan too, so she understands it. So, things like that. But, just, keep checking out our different channels that we have and, listen to the podcast, across all the different, platforms that are out there where you can listen to podcasts. And we have a lot of fun and interesting things to share with you over the next couple of days.
Yeah. So once again, you can follow us on Twitter at attractions_GRP. Follow us on your favorite podcast apps, Apple, Google, Spotify, and so on. And then on YouTube. Again, I just went live for the first time today. So follow us there. Just search for the Attractions Group podcast and make sure you like us. You'll get a notification when we go live because there's a lot to see around here, and we're not going to take pictures of every booth. That wouldn't be interesting, but going live and having people asking me where to go and what to show and stuff was a lot of fun. So great way to interact with us. So absolutely be following us on there, and God bless Buc-ee's and God bless IAAPA, right?
All right. Well, until tomorrow, for Ryan Suhr, I'm Don Helbig. Good night.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow with more content and more. We'll end the day with the day 2 IAAPA recap just like today. So thank you so much for listening. Good night.